Welcome back, everybody, to the Wealthy Z Show, where we talk all things wealth, health, and real estate. Today's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be fun. When you're on your road to creating wealth, there's one thing to create the wealth, but you also want to look wealthy. And a lot of people have asked me, man, where do you get your suits? Who is doing your suits? So I thought, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to bring the guy who is in charge of making me look good to the studio today. Socks, welcome to the show.
Good to be here, Johnny. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, awesome. Give us a 2-minute bio on yourself, because you've had a really great journey. You've dressed some celebrities, you've dressed some musicians, rappers, you dressed a lot of the big Bay Street guys. So give us a 2-minute journey of how you got started and what's going on.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you're one of the biggest guys I dress, so we'll start with that. That's always a good thing. But I've been very, very fortunate in life. Years ago in university, my dad got hurt at work, and I started folding clothes at Old Navy and helped bring Old Navy to Canada, which led to a job in Gap in management. And from there, did a few other things. And then a friend of mine decided to make clothes, and I helped him on that journey. We created a big company. And eventually I branched off and worked independently now for almost 10, 11 years. It's been really good under the August Ashley brand, which is just my kids' middle names. But it's, you work directly with me one-to-one. And it's always like a good, intimate experience, it's kind of like the foundation of what I believe in.
It's interesting how you say it's your kids' middle names, because, there's a cigar, we smoke cigars together, Alec Bradley. And, I had a chance to meet Alec Bradley, and his name is his kids' names, Alec and Bradley. So he named the cigar company Alec Bradley.
Man, he's smart then.
Yes, it's very smart. So you've had quite a journey. I mean, you were on some TV shows, and tell us about your stint on TV.
I did a bunch of stuff in film and TV. I like being behind the scenes though, so I'm always there, but I don't like being kind of like front of camera. I mean, my clients are usually, the people that are there. One of the most famous things I've done is the episode on 2 Chainz. He has a series on YouTube called Most Expensive as Shit. And we have a bulletproof episode. When I was helping my old company, we actually made bulletproof suits, and GQ invited me over to Yonkers and took the Uber up and met him and his crew there, and we filmed a huge episode. And I think it's the highest and most viewed episode in his series, wow. Number 1. So it's almost at like 500 million views, which is pretty crazy. How a rapper created an idea and then they filmed it. And it's funny, I'm still friends with all the producers and the film people that were on set that day, because the people behind the scenes always really get to see your passion, not just the client, right? Mm-hmm. They see how much you work and how much you care to make things perfect for them. So that's really important. So that's one of the really big examples. I've dressed everyone from, you might not like his politics, but I've dressed Jagmeet Singh for a while, to Maddie Matheson, to a whole list of names, right? I'm not so big on calling names, but they're just people to me. Mm-hmm. And most important is they're people that really care about how they look, how they present themselves, like the image. It's branding.
Absolutely.
So that's why it's been really nice in that regard.
Amazing. Well, you've done a great job for me. I love what you do for me. It's almost like when you get a tattoo, it's like you say the first one is like, I don't want to get a tattoo. And then after you have the first one, it's like, okay, what's the next one? What's the next one? And you know me, every time you make something for me and you come over and you fit it on me and you deliver it, I'm like, okay, bring out the panels. Let's go for the next one. It's always something new.
It's either pre-planning or, aspirational, or like that's next, or 11:30 p.m. text. Yo, can you make this?
Yeah, I did that to you.
Yeah, usually 11:30, 11:33 to be exact. But that's the common time that men get horny about their style, is literally around 11 to 12 o'clock. I'm not sure why, but it's a common time that I get a lot of messages, whether it's, I even get messages like, I'm just trying to get my outfit ready tomorrow. Which tie am I going to wear? Because, they care for my opinion, and they know that I know them and their lifestyle and what looks really good for them, and also what works for them at that time in their life. That's the thing about fashion, is a lot of people don't talk about, is it's in stages. Stages of personal growth reflect in stylistic growth. So you can't always put someone where they want to be maybe 5 years down the road, but you grow with them. There's a zone of comfort, and you're always kind of like at the edge of that zone and pushing them in the right direction.
You know, what I love about Bespoke
Hmm.
is you have all of my measurements.
I do.
And I did that to you one night. I sent you a text. I was having dinner with my wife, and she showed me a picture of Ryan Gosling,
Yeah.
a suit that he had worn to the premiere of Barbie and Ken.
Hmm.
And this suit was stunning. And my wife said, "You would look so good in this suit." And I took the photo and I sent it to you, and I said,
Yeah.
"Hey, buddy, can you make this?" And within like 2 minutes, you literally sent me a photo of the exact color and pattern of this suit. What'd I say?
That's the one.
That's the one.
That's
Make
the
it.
one.
Make it.
Make it.
It was fantastic because you got all my measurements, and
Yeah.
honestly, I get so many compliments on that suit. It's actually one of my more favorite suits that you made me. I mean,
It's actually your measurements with updated to
yeah,
your, because you lost a little weight. You were leaning out, so
yeah. I lost like
not to
20
interrupt, but
pounds.
yeah, so we
Yeah,
updated, and that fit was even closer and cleaner. And that's also part of the journey of having clothes on a bespoke level made for you. That your pattern is always reflective of that time and that
mm,
size. And just when the origin, like where the word came from, was it be spoken, it got shortened to bespoke, but it means to be spoken for, right? So an advisor is someone that speaks for you. You tell them you have an idea. That person is in charge of executing that idea for you. Whether, I knew when you said that color, that shade, it only came in 2 books. It's just a matter of which of the 2 shades that you like more, right? And that's just intrinsic knowledge of what's available in the marketplace, what's coming in the marketplace, and who makes it, so that you can speak eloquently, so to say, for your clients, right?
and that's what I love about you. And we've worked together now for about a year, and you've
Hmm.
done several suits. I mean, this jacket is one, and
Yeah.
it's my own custom
See the
interior.
cash
It's
flow there.
cash flow, and every day I'm hustling.
Yeah.
And this is my personal brand, and this is something that is personal to me. And you put in all of my suits. And when I sent you that photo, within 2 minutes, you knew exactly where to look and knew the exact fabric, and that comes with experience, and that experience is working with someone like you who's been in the industry for a long time. I mean, it'd be hard for me to walk into a store and buy off the rack and show my picture and say, "Hey, I'm looking for this suit." You're gonna have salesmen running across the floor, "Hey, Rosen," trying to find something closely matches it, and it never fits quite the way you wanted to. Talk to me and my listeners about the difference between buying off the rack and then dealing with someone like yourself. August Ashley is your company, and getting that bespoke VIP treatment.
I, that word that you just mentioned earlier, experience. Experience is almost like a trident, like it's or a three-sided triangle with 3 points. It's not singular in its expression. So what I mean by that is experience. The first part of experience is actually living. So a lot of people ask me, how can I grew up rough in Jane and Finch, and I also fly private jets with billionaires. That's experience, living that experience in different social circles and different income circles. And when you do that, and one of my favorite words is intrinsically, um, what that lifestyle and that income level and pertains. So how to execute that comes from experience. The other part of the experience part is actual earned experience. So a vested amount of time, money in style, in fashion, not just like um, reading blogs, or nowadays you have access to fashion quite readily, but literally buying, wearing, trying. I'll make that fat stripe. I'll make that ugly check. I'll make that color that no one will. And so that I know that basically it's extrapolation. When I see that print, I know what that print looks like in its final form. So I can say, oh, there's a guy that lives this life, has this personality, and this is the experience he's trying to create with the garment. I know what book, what print, what shade, or within a band that is going to execute that for him. So it's really easy. I have clients that'll walk and say, Socks, just pick 3 for me. You know my entire wardrobe. So that's experience. I've experienced his life and all the styles, and I can pick the 3 that are going to add value to that and then create within the same like band his branding, right?
Mhm.
And the other part of the experience is just like the personal experience, right? Of knowing these things. Once you have that experience, the vendors that I work with have been in the industry a long time, and they've treated me very well, and that's earned. So I sell a lot of their pieces, their fabrics. So as an independent tailor, I would consider myself. That's how I'd label it. I have the largest selection of fabric there is. All the biggest brands of cloth, from what you're wearing, Ariston to Scabal, Xenia, Dorme, Lord Piana, Barbarous, 𝗄𝑄𝑄𝗏, like you name it, we have it. And that's from experience. They know that you can sell it. They know that you have the clientele for it. And they know that you can execute the look through your garments.
So when you talk fabrics, talk to me about the different types of fabric for the different seasons. We live in Canada. We've got 4 seasons,
Yeah.
and there's different fabrics for different times of the year. We're going into the fall and winter time. What kind of fabric would you recommend to someone who's looking for something for their fall and winter wardrobe?
We forgot the 5th season, golf season, but
Go
we'll go back to that.
That's
We'll
right.
go back to that. Yeah, I mean, Canada is really unique, and we really have 4 seasons, especially lately. Like we have tropical summers that are 34, 35, 36 degrees now. Then we have really cold winters with a lot of wind chill too, especially if you're in the city. So you'll have heavier flannels, like whipcord or corduroy, they would say Calvary twills. These are all hard wearing, classic kind of fabrics. You have the heavier wools from like Dugdale, let's say. So they always consider weight, the weight of the actual fabric. So anything from 6 to 9 ounces is like the super lightweight to year round kind of weight. And that's per yard. So ounces per yard. 9 to 12 ounces would be year round towards the heavier side, and 10 to like 13 ounces is the heavier winter weight side. So those are the kind of garments that would keep you warmer. Um, they'll also change up the weaves. They'll have a lot more layered or textured weaves, so you can see a little life in the cloth instead of a more smoother finish.
What are some of your more popular fabrics? Like most of the fabrics from Italy, Italian mills, or
I
UK?
think I think it's both. I mean, it really depends on kind of the vibe of the customer. If the customer is really kind of flamboyant, has a little more panache in his spirit and his energy as well, he's probably going to gravitate towards the more Italian side of fabrics, as they offer a bigger selection of bolder prints and just kind of more airy, flowy type elegance through the cloth. They call that the drape. And where the English wools are a lot denser generally, the patterns are more classic. You won't have too much volume in terms of how aggressive a print may be. With obviously, there's always exceptions at the end of each collection.
Mhm.
There's many books within each range, but so it'd really be like how someone wants to execute their look, and then we would go, okay, these mills are more of the Italian kind of variety of wools will give you that look, or the English ones will give you more of that look. English is generally considered more structured, more sturdy, and Italians generally considered more softer, flowy, and a lot more bolder in the patterns and prints.
With the patterns you find with the English one, it's more kind of checkered and plaid.
Yeah,
Uh,
Glencheck. So a lot of stuff with houndstooth in it. And where I mean, you're wearing something that's Italian. You can see it's a kind of an egg yolk yellow, vibrant blue. The whale is like the scale of the print, large, lots of volume. So it reflects someone. Literally, the words that you're using to describe the print should literally be the words you're describing to use the person. And when the two match, that's a great cloth for that person, right?
you've made a few suits for me. You've made one where it's a solid, like the latest one, the solid
Mm-hmm.
color, but you've also done a couple for me. One's a single breast and one's a
Yeah,
double breast.
yeah,
You've done. I like the lines. I like the gangster lines,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Um, what you find is double breast really starting to make a comeback now?
I don't think it's ever made a comeback in a sense, but it also has never really disappeared. What I find is the gentlemen that want to buy a double breasted suit, it's a look. It's a really kind of half fashion, but really knowledgeable level of fashion person will want to wear a double-breasted or a really stylish type of look. So you've got a bunch of single-breasted suits, you want to change it up, you want to create a different vibe, a different energy, you'll make the double-breasted. I wouldn't say in Canada per se or Toronto is as common for the general populace. Now, meaning when I say general amount of people, there are some fashion people and they'll always make a double-breasted set. But regular guy, normal guy who's making clothes, he might have one in every 10 pieces that's a double-breasted. It's a look that's not commonly seen, so people don't feel like they can really wear it. But then there are guys that they own and they rock it, and that's the way.
So yeah, the first one you made me was a double breast, and I love it.
Yeah,
It fits so well. I get so many compliments every time I do wear that
it's the blue
suit.
and yellow denim finish.
Yes, the blue and yellow. So when you say there's not a lot of people that wear a double breast, is it body structure that sometimes the double breast just won't fit a certain body type?
It- The way you're describing is what people would generally think is the assumption. I have a gentleman, he's probably 5'1" and a little pudgier, and he just went to his sister's wedding in a beautiful 4x2 double breasted. So 4x2 means 4 total buttons and 2 that just button here. And he's not that big, and he looked great, right? The big thing about double breasted is traditionally they were cut as longer jackets. And so it's a look that's, length is considered more elegant. Where when you're making something on a totally bespoke level or super customized for the client, and part of it is obviously the fabric and details and liners, but also the fit. The length is correct, the balance, proportion, the buttoning stance. So if you execute those parts, you can make a double breasted look great on pretty much anyone. There's no limit. It's not just for the guy that's kind of a perfect fit. It's for the guy that really wants to express himself and has a tailor that can execute the look properly for him.
Oh, you did a great job for me.
Thank you, thank you.
So when it comes to single-breasted suits, you find more people are getting it with a vest, like making it a 3-piece or just a 2-piece suit?
It's a funny story. Funny that you just mentioned just like 2 days ago. So I got a wedding on Friday, and the client came about 4 months ago for their initial appointment. They referred to me by one of my other clients, and they're all like doctors, emergency room doctors. So um, that's a great thing about tailoring. You have a friend everywhere if you need. But and he's quite eccentric. He doesn't look like it, and she's quite just this. And they both had this uh, color in mind. It was kind of a ruby red, but on the darker plum side. And none of their friends and their parents, and they were like, "You guys, you can't do that. You got to go the traditional way. You got to this and that." And so, I had a very similar one in green, and then I showed them the fabric, and the red version. They're like, "Let's make this, right?" But he didn't tell her, but he ordered the vest for it. So she didn't see it till the fitting the other day. And she was like, "I can't believe you didn't tell me you ordered the vest. You look so great in it. It really ties the whole thing together." Um, and this is a really big barrel chest. It's 6'3", kind of like bigger dude. And it just really tied everything in. I think if you're trying to really execute a great look, if you're doing a really unique color, you got to have the third piece. It's that tie-in, buy-in. It's the right thing. And it's just great to have. You don't always have to wear it, but it really absolutely completes the look with any piece.
Well, you did the blue 3-piece for me,
Hmm.
and it's nice because sometimes I don't even wear the jacket. I just wear the vest with a really nice white French cuff shirt and my
Yeah.
pants, and that looks great on its own.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like even the jacket I'm wearing now, it's like a icy blue with a blue shirt. I have this in a 3-piece, and the other day I wore it as a 3-piece, just open shirt. The other day I wore just the ice blue vest under a blue suit. I've got a dark midnight navy pair of trousers to change it up. So it's just, especially with solids or with big prints, it's just good to have. You can make so many looks
And
with
you
it.
can change it up. That's what I like about
Yeah.
it. You can really change it up.
Yep. Change the vibe of the outfit too.
Yeah. Yeah, you brought some. So I see you brought your case. You brought some fabrics today.
Yeah, this is my case here, the big Papa case, the remote. But I'll open some up.
Can you take us on and show us what's popular? What's popular this fall? Maybe I'll get another suit made.
We'll bring your favorites through here. We actually brought a bit of summer.
Oh, my stuff, Ariston.
Yeah, this is the new book. What I love about them, aside from their fabric, is this fur.
When do you find people are like? So now we're into fall. Are you finding people ordering stuff now for the fall? Or
Did.
They already done. So now people are ordering stuff for the springtime.
So it's November now, so it's just like any business. You'll have your early adopters, so guys that are like, please call me the moment the new fall winters arrive. Now, most companies have a 2-year window of fabric availability, so meaning the book from last year, most of it will still be available for the current year. Once you get the new book, you'll probably have 50% of the same prints and 50% newer ones. So guys will be like, okay, when this comes in. We had a couple clients just wait for the overcoat books. As soon as the new ones came in, right away, right? Then you have guys that are like, oh my goodness, I forgot I needed a coat and it's November 23rd already. And it's like, okay, how soon can we get this done? There's always the procrastinators or I finally went to my closet and there was nothing to wear, or my wife's been telling me to order this up, but I've been busy. And that always happens. So you got a good mix. It's usually thirds. Early adopters, guys right in the sweet spot, and guys right at the tail end. And same for spring, summer. You'll always find that.
So I need an overcoat. So if I placed an order for an overcoat, what's the turnaround time for something like that? Because I know the suits you're about 6 weeks-ish.
6 weeks, give or take, for new clients. Established clients can be a little faster depending on fabric. We don't try to move too fast unless we need to, so we leave capacity for that. Just because the guys are, the industry itself, everyone's working as hard as they can to keep up. The last couple of years, you've lost some people because of COVID. Not necessarily death, but they change industries. The skill and expertise to make something great isn't as common as you would think, where you don't have enough people bringing in that kind of talent to keep up with the pace and volume that we're experiencing, right? So that's the thing. And you want to leave capacity for the guy that forgets about his coat and needs it in a week. Or I had someone come in a week ago and like, oh, we decided to have the party now, but it's in 2 weeks, even though they came like 4 months ago and we're debating, right? I said, if you got to debate, you're going to be late. That's another saying of mine. So, yeah, that's kind of the sweet spot, the window, give or take. Most fabrics take 3 to 6 days to get now. It used to be you could have everything overnighted, cloth-wise, but, the shipping industry's changed. It's cost a lot more to ship things, and they just don't ship it as fast. Even if you overnight certain things, or Italy doesn't do overnight anymore, but it's going to be 3 to 5 days instead of 1 to 2. It used to be really bang, bang, So, yeah, generally we try our best to just keep things moving along. And sometimes it's just really busy, but that's kind of the window we got working for garments. 5 to 8 weeks total. It isn't that bad.
So what's hot right now for? So are you taking orders now for like spring, summer of 2024? Like, do you have your fabrics for 2024?
Do. There's some here, some there. We're just wrapping up the fall winter through here, and you'll see you haven't seen these yet in person. So I was just going to say earlier when we started, what I love about the company is every year they do new books, but they'll change. Like this year, it's like rubber, and here you've got metal and gold on a raised stamp. That's what's cool. It's all part of their branding. So what I was mentioning earlier, the Italians, they do big, bold prints.
I like this.
Beautiful fabrics.
This is really nice for a suit.
Look at that.
This blue, I have nothing like that. That's nice.
So they'll call this a blue double window pane because of the 2 lines. Track check. You can scan the barcode and see what the current stock is on the garment. I had a client just order the other day and it said low stock. And when we called Italy, there was down to the last 6 yards of that print. So he got the last piece in the world. Boucle, this little texture here, that's called a boucle with the little kind of abrasion through there in the stripe.
Kind of almost like a broken line.
Yep. And these are this is what I mentioned earlier. This color, this pattern itself wasn't done last year. That's a totally brand new pattern, especially in that brown. And this was the only color made last year, and they had a blue.
So
So
these are kind of more like some checkers and stuff. And are you finding a lot of guys going toward this type of pattern?
you'll definitely see it a lot more into the winter season, fall, winter, because it's a little more acceptable to wear kind of like bigger patterns and prints. Especially, this section here, these three have been one of the most popular. This has been repeated the last 4 years. This would be the newest one where they've added this huge window pane over the check. See, it's the same base, but that's new. These three have been repeated. Now, this is the same thing, experience, right? I've sold these companies, these books. It's almost like you just memorize and know because you see it every year all the time and you're selling. I mean, I can remember this, but remember the other day I couldn't find my wallet and it was in the freezer. So I called it cold hard cash. So
And for you guys, if you guys are listening on Spotify or Apple iTunes and you want to be able to see some of these fabrics, you're gonna have to go to our YouTube channel and watch this and see some of these amazing fabrics that he deals with. And this is just one of the companies, Ariston. This is actually
beautiful.
one of my favorite companies that I wear mostly.
So you can see these are the funky, super gangster, as they say, weaves and textures. They almost look like furniture fabric to
Is
a
it
point,
now?
right?
A lot is. Would you make an overcoat out of this or a suit?
You can make a lighter overcoat over there. If you look at the gram weight, that's heavy enough to make a coat, 380 grams right there. That's really good, but it'd be on the lighter side. We do have some coat-specific books. I didn't bring them all with me, but some of the colors this year have been amazing, like pastel purples, kind of mud greens in coats you don't commonly see. My coat's in my car, but I have the huge herringbone. It's probably like that thick in width, so it's really cool through there.
I'm really liking this fabric right here.
What do you guys think about this on Johnny? You can see that? So you see the extrapolation?
This caught my eye. I'm thinking we might have to put an order for this.
All right.
For a suit. And it's great because you got all my managers to tell you,
Yep.
make it for me.
Yeah. Literally, that's it. You just, we know you have your signature liner, so that's easy. You've got this print here, and then all we literally discuss is style details. You know, what type of lapel, single, double, breasted suit, etc. Just small little things, and see what you already have, see what might work, or we might want to change up to give this piece a different look from the others, and then bang, put it into production.
Yeah. And, just to go back to dealing with someone like yourself, who's getting that personal service, I'm a very, very busy guy. And I know you deal with a lot of busy people too. We don't have time to constantly, either come downtown. You've got your show place, your showroom downtown. I've been there a couple of times, but I don't have the time. I live in Vaughan, so it's very difficult for me to always get downtown, make the hike. What I love about you is you have this personal service where you actually come to my house if I need to have something taken in, like the last couple of suits you had, and
Yeah.
this is a wonderful service because I dropped a size because I lost some weight. I lost about 20 pounds from March till now. So the suits that I had already made and the new suit that you delivered, we discovered that this thing is like it's not fitting properly, and you took the whole thing back. You actually recut it, brought it back in, and took the other ones that you made me in the earlier part of the year, and those actually fit perfect on me now. So that's just a very big difference when you're walking into a mall or walking into a store and you're buying off the rack. This thing fits you to a T. And what I love about you is you're very detailed. You showed me in the mirror just on how it sits on my shoulders because, okay, John, we got to take this in this way. Now it's not going to sit properly here. I'm going to have to cut it through the shoulder and bring it in here so that it fits properly. I didn't see that, but you saw it. And then when you actually pull it up from the back, you said, you see the difference? Like, I see the difference. You don't get this kind of service walking into a Harry Rosen. You're buying off the rack. So this is the type of service that you're offering your clients, that you will literally come to them. You mentioned to me that you've got some suitcases now, like with fabrics, like you brought one here, that if people are listening and they want your service and they can't get to you, you'll come out to them with your suitcases of fabrics.
Pretty much a mini store.
Yeah, and you'll size them up right there. What's a typical suit, like a two-piece suit, your average costing go for these days?
Yeah, for sure. Just to harken back to what you just said, I mean, part of being an independent tailor and working privately with clients, you'll see I do very little advertising, but that will change. Um, is that it's intimate, so you can go to them. I personally like being on the road a couple days a week and going to see clients, especially when you get to visit their home. You get to know a little bit more about them. You get to see their entire wardrobe and their closet. You get a real feel for how to build the next few steps. So, um, and that really helps. And also, kind of like what they like wearing outside of that, maybe what golf clubs they play with. It all speaks to kind of like where they're comfortable spending, where they like to put their money. So, and that affects kind of like suiting costs. We have um, a huge entry range from about, used to be a little less now, but from 1,200 to 1,600. You get a two piece with a variety of fabrics. As you move from 1,800 onwards, you get into more the established mills and established brands. And part of it, literally part of what you're paying for is a bit of the panache of the name of the association, and a lot of it is the quality jumps. You how it performs long term, how it feels, how it looks. Um, the market and how they make fabric is, I'd say there's a lot of collusion in it. They know what they're doing. They put the things that don't cost so much here, and you're really comfortable. And as soon as you want to get to a certain kind of style, it's a certain number. Overall, though, we try to be really, really fair. Given that I buy some of the most fabric of anyone in Canada, our vendors are very generous to us on the wholesale pricing for fabric. And for established clients, man, they get really well taken care of, because we have their pattern, their fit. There's not as much to do. And we want to make sure I always say a guy with more pieces is better. Because then when he's consistently in your things 3 to 4 days a week, then we call them impressions, right? And you know this. You're trying to create impressions with the buckets. Is that when people see you consistently with a consistent look, consistent fit, and it's clean and executed perfectly, they know who is the expert now in life, in fashion, in design. When you got just one once a week and you're not really hitting it, that person's probably not going to be able to generate as many indirect referrals for me. But when you're like every day you're banging, someone's going to say, "Hey, Johnny, I was thinking where'd you get your stuff?" Right? When it's consistent, people will ask. And literally, that's how you know if you're doing it consistently. When people start telling you, asking you, "Yo, who makes your things?"
And I get that often when I wear your suits. So, how can people find you?
Uh, Pretty easy. I mean, we have our website. There's a link page where you just can inquire and email and come to me, contact you back, or directly through Instagram.
What's your website?
www.𝐷uxashley.ca. And then you can,
Social media, you got your
yeah,
Instagram.
Instagram, Dirty SOX, Dirty Socks, or at August Ashley Atelier for the store.
Amazing. Well, this has been great. I really want to get you on here to show people who's the guy that's making me look good. So
I
thank you so
appreciate it.
much for coming on here.
Yeah.
That's all for today. You can find us on social media, Instagram, TikTok. Check out the YouTube if you want to watch this live. Until next time, take care of yourself and take care of your wealth.
All right. Thanks, John.
Thanks, buddy.